And now we're going to my first guest, who's a third-generation butcher, whose mobile rotisserie food truck is so popular. It's been featured on both the Food Network and the Cooking Channel, and now he has a popular line of organic bone broth available at grocery stores nationwide, and it recently landed at Costco, so you know it's a big deal. Please welcome to New Day Chef Thomas Odermatt. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here today. I hear
you.
about this all the time, that it's healthy and you should be drinking it every single day. So how did you go from rotisserie meats to making bone broth?
Yeah, as you say, I'm a third-generation butcher in a small little town, hence my accent and all this good thing around it. And, you know, we always used every scrap, everything that was around. We cooked it and made it nice meals out of it. My mother and my father certainly did a really good job for us. And, you know, I always say, leave it up to the butcher to make something that's really rich and deep in flavor, because we're not skimpy people. We like to cook with abundance.
Yeah.
And so when I kind of started in San Francisco with the food truck, I always knew I want to do something that's more meaningful. You know, did you know that out of 10 Americans, 6 have a GI issue?
Wow.
I myself have severe allergies to a lot of food. And so when I cook really simple, straightforward. I really wanted to make a bone broth that is absolutely, has almost nothing to it. It's almost a forgotten art how I make my bone broth.
Okay, so walk me through too. How do you make this bone broth, this art?
Yeah, so
now you're searing.
Yeah,
what are we
I'm
searing?
preparing something for, we're gonna make 2 things today.
Okay.
First of all, we're gonna cheer the day with a fresh bone broth that I made. And let me explain to you what makes a really good bone broth. A really good bone broth, in my case, I really have only water, carrots, and bones.
Okay.
And
simple ingredients.
Simple ingredients. And there's a lot of bone broths out there. I only sell it fresh. It's a fresh bone broth, no frozen, no aseptic package. It's way too stressful for the product to go through this process. So for me, it's all about the jiggle.
Oh, so, you gotta have a jiggle.
So how do you know this is a good bone broth? Well, judge it by the jiggle.
Judge it by the jiggle. I like that. Okay, so I'm putting a little in here for us to taste test.
Perfect.
And then, so you're searing the lemons, and then what else do we have to do? I hear kale is involved, right?
Yes. So we are searing the lemons, and then we are doing my sofritos. We are cooking the sofritos a little bit sauté with olive oil.
Oh.
If you don't mind, you could pass me on this olive oil.
Yes.
Please.
Absolutely. Here you are. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're making a chicken orzo soup today with the bone broth, right? That's what we're doing?
That is correct. You know that orzo is the thing of the 80s, you know, almost forgotten. Everybody talks about, orzo. But I make an orzo with whole wheat orzo.
Yum.
So very healthy. And when I started Roli Roti, it was only at a farmer's market.
Wow.
And at a farmer's market, everything is seasonal. And so I started to look at it and say, okay, you know, if it's seasonal, if it actually looks good, it tastes good.
Okay, so this is sizzling. Should we put the celery in there, or how's it working?
We are going to put the celery in there right now.
Perfect. Get a little sauté going. Yum.
And
okay,
also,
and I'm tasting this too.
you also could always use a little bit beef tallow.
Okay.
So, or olive oil. Depends on my mood. I use a little beef tallow that I have rendered, or I also use olive oil.
And I see some garlic and onions in there too, right?
Correct.
Oh,
absolutely. Just
delicious.
Make it very simple. And then with the bone broth, so this one is the same jiggle. Add a little bit of salt, because that's another thing. I don't believe in salt.
Wow.
I just don't salt my broth.
Okay.
So it's a salt-free product. Customer people at home, you can always put a little bit salt back in, and it's just something perfect.
This is so delicious. Just add that. I could definitely drink this every single day. I'm going to help you too with the kale.
Yes,
what do you need me to do with that?
So I want you to massage the kale a little bit.
Massage the kale, he says.
Yep.
Okay.
So add a little bit of that.
A little olive oil in here?
Yes, please.
Okay. Perfect. And while we're waiting for that to cook down and I'm massaging this, tell me about the health benefits too of bone broth.
Yeah, so it's definitely for gut health. If you have a leaky gut or upset gut, it helps you. It restores your gut. It's also very good for your skin, for your hair, and for me, I believe also in my joint.
Yeah.
So when I cut meats, it's a very tough work the whole day. And if I drink bone broth with some ginger and turmeric, and I add a little bit salt to it, just because I had a good workout. So then it actually helps me with my restoration of my joints. Gosh. And it's really a superfood. It's really a superfood, but unfortunately, oftentimes the superfood has been interpreted like industrialized. So I still, when I look at my facility where I make it, we use big vats, big pots.
Right.
And it's 24 hours cooked, up to 48 hours cooked. And that brings out that micronutrition. It brings out the jiggle.
Yes.
Because we
need
really
the jiggle for the collagen.
Correct.
Okay, so how is this looking? I massage this in. Is it going in the big pot?
Give me a second, please.
Okay.
You're way faster than I am.
Oh, no, it's okay. Ooh, look at the char on that.
So
that's looking good. So you saute that for a few minutes.
Yep, saute that for a few minutes.
And that goes in
and then
first.
we put that in, and then we give it a nice toss.
Wow.
Gonna put this over here.
Okay.
Excuse my noise. And then we're gonna mix it a little bit.
A good mix. Oh, I see the orzo in there.
So
Yum.
you see this?
Yes.
Beautiful, nice orzo.
Yes.
It's a whole wheat orzo.
So good.
And then I add a lot of bone broth to it. Again,
simple ingredients.
Simple. And now you can add this one to it, please.
Okay, add this in. Okay.
Yep.
And then the lemon goes on top. This all smells so good. Oh my goodness.
So we do that. So there's two things. Just keep it very simple.
Yeah.
And I did cook the orzo separate, so I don't want the starchy water in my soup.
Okay, that's a good pro tip. Well, we're gonna finish cooking in the break and taste test. This was so delicious. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
The New Day Northwest Kitchen is brought to you by Safeway.